this is a brief tour of one of our new boards. It's the alternator model for the Firewire. We're going to go through a few different parts of the board. First off, we'll just start with the rails and the thickness and the materials they're using. It's obviously an epoxy board, super lightweight, super strong. It's got the stringed rail all the way around the edges, around the whole of the board. That's basically going to give you lots of spring to your turns. Basically coils up during a bottom turn and then will spring back when you release the turn, so it just basically equals speed. So it keeps it nice and fast, springing into turns and springing out of turns. It's a super lightweight board, fairly flexible, and for that reason you get the stiff fins with it, the PC5s, which are the ultra lightweight fins from FCS. So they really balance the board out nicely. Towards the tail of the board, we've got what's called a bump squash, which is where the tail's narrowing at this point here, and that's basically allowing the board to turn off this point, so it shortens the turning radius of the board. It allows you to have your back foot planted in this area here for more drive and a bit more speed if you're barrel riding, for instance, and then you can obviously bring your foot back where the tail narrows, and it makes it a lot more manoeuvrable. So this basically becomes your turning point, which if you flip the board upside down, that is where your fins are starting pretty much. Super sharp edges in the rails with the epoxy glass, nice rounded rails further up, keeps it manoeuvrable but also forgiving at the front, and super sharp rails keep it sharp on the turns at the back. The actual contours of the board, we've got a fairly flat initial start to the board through the front half, through this section, nice and flat, and then we've got a big deep concave through the central part of the board. This is basically forcing water up the board and then forcing it through the fins. That concave continues right through the board and then goes flat again in the end of the tail. So turn it around this way, you might be able to see that a bit better. So big scoop out of the centre of the board, then going fairly flat in the nose. That's obviously going to improve with your wave entry with it being a bit flatter. But this is a fantastic board. It's got loads of float, good flotation through the central section of the board. That's basically getting into your waves, keeping your speed up through turns. Relatively thin and narrow in the nose, and similar in the tail as well. So it's basically high manoeuvrable short board, either for the bigger guy, for someone who wants to catch more waves, for someone who wants to progress quickly on a short board, or possibly someone who just wants a board that's going to be super high performance in average surf. But all in all, fantastic board, come highly recommended.